5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So this is where we were left last time. With Kang with the 16 world records, Arsène Lupin with 14. So Kang, you said he was gonna quit, but he actually, yeah, he's still there with 16. And for a while, yeah, he's probably quit already at this point. He doesn't gain any more world records, so this is the peak of his on the site. Crash Team Faking with 2, Thomas with 2, and Scando and Italian 21 with 1 world record. But let's just go a bit forward and see how this thing goes, because I think, yeah, Scando gets a world record there in May, and
Stealthy joined the party.
yeah, Stelzy, yeah, Stelzy is a former player of CTR, but he was also known for playing Smash, Melee, and also a Super Mario Sunshine speedrunner who had some world records there as well. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, Crash Team Faking, Thomas, and Scando are all kinda looting Kang's and Arsène Lupin's world records, although not so much Kang's. Kang probably had a bit stronger records at the time. But yeah, Hermanu shows up. He's the other Spanish guy, right?
I bet that was his world record in Crash Cup. He was the first one to sub 1 and 19 in Crash Cup.
It might be, but not sure if that was the sub yet, because he and Thomas kind of went back and forth for a while.
Yeah, there was a bit of rivalry between Thomas and Scando and Hermano.
Yeah, Thomas unfortunately never got the sub himself, but he was really close. He got like a 1:19:04 or something. But yeah, Thomas kind of gets an early lead among the Gen 1 players. Here we also see CTR record holder.
Okay, many people maybe don't even know this player existed. He was a first gen player. Well, he was from England, if I remember correctly. In where the second gen started to be active, they decided CTR record holder was a faker or a cheater because he had literally zero proofs of his records. He was a Titan C player. So he was kicked out of CTR forever.
But as for this world record, like it's very hard to say. While at the time it was a world record and it was a god lap, the time he got was 25:49, which was a really good lap at the time. But suppose he was playing for the lap, using getting reserves and whatnot, versus Thomas and Hermanu, who were just going for the course, with the other guys playing Crash Cove. It is kind of believable if his primary purpose was to get the lap, or maybe he fluked and got the speed ghost before anyone really knew what it was. So I mean, this isn't entirely unbelievable that he might have gotten it, but many people think this world record actually wasn't real. And slowly, yeah, Kang actually gets one world record here again, so he hasn't completely quit. You got a nice spread here. Already 7 players, so 8 players with world records. So the site is clearly working. People are clearly gathering around the site and posting their times. And here it really gets interesting. So Crash Team Faking becomes rank 1 on the world records ranking in December 2005. Thomas is follows Kang and CTF pretty closely still, and Arsène Lupin has already fallen to rank 4.
TJK joined the group, the world
Yeah,
record holders group.
yeah. So the TJK is the first high-level Finnish player. He was one of the players who could challenge Crash Team Faking. He
Yeah,
had,
yeah.
yeah, this was maybe Cortex Castle, perhaps? Lap? I'm not sure.
Uh, the track you mean?
Yeah, TJK.
I believe it was Hot Air Skyway.
Okay. You were
Can be sure, but
probably
I
you
think
had probably
it was.
joined around this time to the site, but you were not a world record player yet.
Yeah, I
January.
joined it in late 2005.
Yeah.
By 2006, I was already in the rankings, but I wasn't too aware of the first gen players. I was just learning about this world, this community.
Yeah, and you were really young too. Like everybody was young. All of these
Yeah,
people were kids at the time, pretty much, except like Arsène Lupin. And even he was like a probably like a at most like 20 or something.
yeah, he was like, yeah, he was in his early 20s, I think.
Yeah. So CTF really this is pretty much the reason like why Crash Team Faking is just so revered in the community. Like he just came and he was the first person to beat the guys who basically figured everything out. So obviously people will think he's really great.
Yeah, exactly. That was very impressive for all of us. We knew Arsene and Kang were the top players back then, and we suddenly saw how CTF start to beat to beat them up, to beat them both in the rankings and got to the first place.
Yeah.
So that was impressive.
But at this time still like so for example even so Crash Team Faking is rank 1 at this time and today he's like rank 37 or something.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
obviously this would not last. but but yeah,
Yeah, but for being retired for about, I don't know, more like 20, 10 years, maybe
more than 10
12.
years.
Yeah,
I mean, he quit in
but
2008, right?
2008. Yeah, more. Yeah, 10 years. I say 10, 11 years. That's
Yeah,
impressive
yeah,
to
really
still have a,
impressive.
a rank like that.
Yeah, I think he if he had played a bit more, a few more years, he would probably still be in top 20.
Yeah, maybe if he stay for a generation, a generation, the third generation maybe,
Yeah,
and apply the new techniques. For example, I don't know, zero speedway technique, the Lucas G,
yeah,
the Lucas Speed.
yeah,
Imagine what could he achieve?
yeah. Because a big problem, of course, was that while the main techniques had been discovered at this time, he pretty much played exactly like Arsène Lupin and Kang, but a bit better. Like that's the
Yeah,
way he
yeah,
played.
that's right. There was a time where the techniques were like frozen. At the time, there were no
Yeah.
new discoveries for a period of time
Well,
until Gen 2 came.
yeah, the main two discoveries of this era were the Oxide Station shortcut and the Slight Coliseum shortcut. These were the two
Mm.
things that were discovered. Um, but yeah, it's also kind of even. Like if you look like there's 5 players with more than 5 world records. So that's actually really cool aspects of this era. But obviously Kang is showing he's kind of better than everybody else, with Skandu kind of catching up to him there. And Skandu really was able to compete with him.
Yeah, by that time, Scandu, Thomas, Hermano, and CTF were the most active first gen players. Well, Khan was already retired, I think, and Arsenal Lupin too.
Out of these players, Crash Team Faking, Skandu, Hermanu, and Banga 7, who just got his world record here, would become gods eventually. So Thomas never actually becomes a god. Unless he still comes back. He still has a Crash Team Racing disc, so he might still come back, but
Well, he still has the chance.
yeah, he can still do it, you know. You never know who becomes a god later on. Italian 21, who is here still, but he had the world record. He came back almost 10 years later and became god, so you never know what happens.
That was surprising for me.
Yeah,
It was good to see him return.
definitely. So here, for a brief moment, Skandu gets ahead of Crash Team Faking in world record ranks numbers, but I don't think he ever beat CTF in average finish.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But this was quickly fixed by CTF. And
Yeah, he slept for a moment, and it's kind of take advantage of that.
do, do you remember, like, was CTF the kind of player to improve his own world records?
Mm, yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he was he he was a bit of a perfectionist, not totally, but a bit of it.
Yeah. Because there's two types of players, really, like the kind of players who, if they get a world record, they move on, and the kind of
They move
players who,
on.
yeah, who just keep playing the same track once they get a world record, so that they don't lose it.
Exactly.
And here they are tied, Crash Team Faking and Skandu, and the TJK got his second, got to 2 world records here. So this is a really diverse player pool here with world records. Until Crash Team Faking decides, hey, I'm gonna get 6 world records in a month.
Yeah, that's a classic CTF.
Yeah, and this is actually his peak in terms of this list of graphs. He never has more than 14 world records. Just goes to show. Oh, and CTR record holder is finally out. So out of
This is
these,
September.
yeah,
By this time, I think CTF was already a god.
yeah. We know for a certain that he was a god by December because there's like that's written
Okay,
on the
let me
website.
check. Okay, let me check something quick. Yeah, December 2006. You're right.
But it might
Because
be
the date.
earlier. That's just the earliest mention that we know.
Yeah.
But definitely in 2006, Crash Team Faking was already God, which is absolutely remarkable because nobody is God. Nobody else becomes God until 2008.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah. The second god, which was Pardies, got it in December of 2007.
Oh, okay. Okay, I have misinformation then. But yeah, it took almost a year. It took
Yeah.
it took a year for somebody else.
You can say. Yeah, you can say that it took like a year for someone else to get god
Yeah.
to get the god.
So that's kind of gives you he was a year ahead of the competition.
Exactly.
here a Marathi Kondo shows up. So this is the first generation 2 player.
He was actually a third gen player.
Oh, third. Okay, the first third gen player. Yeah. So Ermanu
Yeah,
was Gen 2.
this surprised me. This surprised me a lot because he's we're seeing here first gen players and a third gen player, but no second gen players.
Gen 2 was
Banga
weaker.
7, I think. Yeah, Banga 7, I think is second gen.
Okay. Yeah. No, but Amaradi Kondo, of course, was very strong for his time. Like,
Yeah, he was very skilled. He is very skilled.
but yes, Thomas still
Yeah,
really
you
very
check
much
it. Banga.
hanging in there. And now we have Le Petit Keltois as well, and Vive Crash. So the French players joining in.
Yeah, yeah, that's second gen.
Yeah, yeah. So this is like one of the most interesting times. I'm sure. Like I wish I had been there to kind of witness this stuff, but I was 12, you know. But this must have been so competitive, you know, so many people competing. And aside from Crash Team Faking, you know, the rank 2 place was available for everybody. Actually, there's a quote from Skandu, I think. Something like playing CTR is playing for rank 2 behind
Yeah.
CTF.
Yeah, for everyone back then, CTF was unreachable, practically unreachable.
Yeah,
I remember the times everyone we were competing. Gen first gen was still active, helping Gen 2.
yeah.
We were improving thanks to their help. Well, everything was nice until Sam Bennett came and joined us.
Nice. Another interesting note here is that Arsène Lupin and Kang together still have 5 world records. So they have been gone for almost 1.5 years, and they still are fairly
Yeah, they
strong.
still were very strong. Exactly.
March, April, so Skando gets a bunch of world records in April, 6 world records. So this is kind of his answer for what he did, or what CTF did earlier. Um, but this is quickly no, this is actually yeah. Uh, Skandu CTF doesn't get any more world records. It's just that Skandu's world records were weak. So maybe this was a new shortcut or something that was discovered and quickly taken away from him.
Well, maybe he got his world record taken away by the second gen players. There was a lot of competition
Uh,
back then.
Look at this. So Hermanu goes up. Hermanu goes up from, and he loses 1 world record. Kang goes to 0. So Hermanu just
Okay,
got a bit more active
okay,
again.
okay. There's
And
something. There's something that happened around 2007. Um, okay, I don't know if you check it, but Scando and Hermano uh, uh, submitted some fake times to protest against the fakers that that invaded CTR forever.
okay,
There were some players that submitted some fake times to protest for the CTR forever management because Arsenal Lappin already quit and he wasn't administrating CTR forever anymore,
yeah,
and the fake uh, did what they wanted. So maybe these were records from Scando and Hermano didn't count at all.
might be, but I'm sure Justin is aware of this, and Justin gathered this data.
Yeah, we had to check them, but just mentioning that
Yeah,
it
so
might.
there might be some world records here that are not real. Nonetheless, CTF is quickly back despite not playing. Maybe, I mean, he doesn't gain any world records. Um, Arsène Lupin still has 3 world records, but Kang is out. And Sam Bennett got his world record here, his first one, as well
Yeah.
as Crash 68. So some of the strongest, 2 of the most dominant players ever to play this game are now on the table, and one of these would finally take Crash Team Faking off his throne. Sam Bennett, an English player, especially famous for his full turbos.
Yeah.
So yeah, very quickly he is, and Luca joins in. So Luca joins in August 2007, gets his first world record. So these are really exciting times.
Yeah. Then we have Luca, who will be later the best player in history for many people.
Yeah, most definitely. So Sam Bennett becomes rank 1 in October 2007, finally beating Crash Team Faking and Skandu and everybody else, and not and by a significant margin as well. And I would say, like, there is this thing about CTR, like, uh, BTF said something along this line, like, at some point it just clicks, and you just everything just gets so much easier. And I think while CTF never really reached that, I think Sam Bennett might have been the first person to reach that level where something just clicks.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it otherwise. Like, yeah, because he gets really dominant. Um, Slowly, Arsène Lupin has his last world record here. It's his Polar Pass, which is still a good time, even in 2019. It's not a bad time at all. 158 something. Absolutely incredible.
All right. By this time, January 2008, we already have uh, three, three gods. Pardies and Amaraticando joined the god group along with CTR.
Right. And interestingly, Sam Bennett has the most world records, but he's not a god yet.
Yeah, he wasn't a god until March 2008.
Yeah. BTF actually gets his first world record here, according to this data, 2007. I need to ask him about this one. But yeah. So slowly, yeah. So Luca started climbing. Crash 68 has 5 world records. So really, like, at this point, it's clear that Crash Team Faking is immortal. These new guys show up and they just beat him.
Yeah. Wow.
Even Amarati Kondo has the same amount of world records as Crash Team Faking at this point. Luca, Vive Crash, Pardies, all of these guys. Crash Team Faking only has 3 world records by March. Sam Bennett became God. V4E for CTR gets his first world record here. Um,
Might be Oxide Station.
maybe, yeah. Uh,
Maybe.
but also, this is the beginning, so Crash 68 would eventually pass Sam Bennett. Um, but at the time, like, did it seem
Yeah,
that way? Like, did it seem like Sam Bennett would just dominate forever?
yeah, he was world record machine back then.
Yeah,
He destroyed us all.
but when I look at his times, when I look at his historical like records and all that, I noticed that he never really did laps except on Cortex Castle. He almost has 0 world records that are lap world records. So I think
Oh,
this eventually caught up with him.
that's very interesting, man.
Yeah. Anton Anton got his first world record here. Antogne? How do you say that? I think that's a
Uh,
typo.
I just pronounced it and GT1.
And GT1. Okay. And
Yeah, that's the way I pronounce it.
yeah, for whatever reason, I always thought it was Antogne, but yeah. um, Also, slowly Black Team Freezing BTF is gonna climb as well around this time.
Yeah, he started as Black Frieza, I think, with
Yeah,
the Black Frieza name.
so I guess this is the good time. So CTF now has 2 world records. These guys show up, Black Team Freezing, and all these guys, and they still revere him even though he's gone. He doesn't. He's not top. He's not a top
Yeah,
three.
especially Black Team Freezing, which was a very a
Yeah,
very a big fan of BTF.
yeah. So because he was a kind of a there was a lot of drama in the community, but CTF never always was kind of above the drama. You know, he never really participated in this stuff, as far as I've understood, and he was a very mature player in a sense. So a lot of players
Yeah,
really idolized him. So Black Frieza changed his name to Black Team Freezing. Eventually, Alpha Plus would change his name to Crash Team Alphing. Um,
and all of his family too. Kristen Janning, for example.
Crash Team Yanning, yeah. Um, you yourself, LinkZer, you could tell what you did in these in terms of
Oh
this.
well, I was yeah well well I was competing in my in my own spot in the rankings and seeing this all this happening. Well, I was focusing in my forum and doing the time trials there.
Yeah,
But I focused more in the battle mode, so I didn't improve a lot in time trial, to be honest.
yeah, but maybe you could tell the story of um.
Oh,
Oh
the
well, never
passive
mind.
fake
We can
moment.
leave that to another video with Black Team Freezing as well,
Yeah,
BTF as well.
that,
But yeah, there's
that
some funny
deserves
stories about
another
that.
video. Yeah, that deserves another video.
But yeah,
Okay, we reached June, June 2008.
2008, 2008, yeah. So Sam Bennett is just keeping strong, but Luca actually getting ahead here. So Luca slowly climbs and becomes rank 2 in the world record ranks and rank 1 in September 2008. And around this time, I think he becomes the rank 1
Okay.
in AF as well.
September. Okay, by September 28, 2008, sorry, we got already 7 gods. San Benet crashed 68 before E and Luca himself became gods by that time.
Yeah. And now you can see BTF beginning his climb. So BTF gets say 4 world records, while Luca has 14. Amorati Kondo has 6. And at some point CTF actually fell completely. Yeah, so July 2008 CTF lost his last world records. Actually missed where Arsène Lupin lost his last ones. Yeah, so in December 2007, no, in January 2008, Arsène Lupin lost his last world record. So clearly Arsène Lupin was a longer lasting player than CTF, but December 2008. At this point, Black Team Freezing is rank 2 in average finish, and he quits. V4E has 3 world records. Crash 868 has dropped down to 1 world record. Skandu still hanging in there, incredibly, although it might be a fake time.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Well,
I
by
don't
this
know.
time, we already had like 7, 8, 9, 10 gods. David and myself got the god rank by November, and BTF got it in December or November. We have to check that.
Okay, so you might be the first player to ever become God before getting world records.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
I think so, yeah. Everybody else, even David, had world records before getting God.
Oh, right. Okay, that's
Yeah,
curious. That's curious
yeah,
to know.
interesting. Um, but interestingly as well, even today there is one player who has a world record and is not a god, Nix. So
Oh,
cer-
yeah.
certainly. And another curious thing is there are 51 gods and there are 51 players who have had world records.
Huh, really?
Yeah. So Luca reaches his peak of 17 world records in February 2009. And at this point, it's kind of clear, that nobody's gonna be rank 1 forever. Because Sam Bennett was beaten, CTF was beaten, Kang was beaten. Everybody can be beaten. Um,
Yeah.
Around this time as well, V4E began to only focus on Oxide Station, so he will have 2 world records for the next 8 years or so. And BTF still has 3 world records, even though he has quit. And he will keep one of them all the way until 2011 or so. But yeah, from
Was
this,
it Hot Air Skyway? I
no,
think.
his longest
No.
lasting world record was Blizzard Bluff. No, not Blizzard Bluff. Polar Pass Lap.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
But yeah, around this time, March 2009, Crash 68 decides that it's time to get rank 1. And you can see it doesn't take him too long. Also, LinkZer gets his first world record. Which one was this one?
Uh, if I'm not mistaken, it was Coco Park.
Oh, yeah, I think it might be, yeah. And Entropy 44, who some people think is Amarty Kondo.
I think so.
Yeah. So Amarty Kondo has quit. He no longer has a PAL disc, as far as I've understood.
He destroyed his disc.
Yeah.
I think I had the photo. I think I still had the photo of his broken disc.
And suddenly this random guy shows up who named Entropy 44, who doesn't take part in the community, and who only plays tracks that are not disadvantaged on NTSCU. NTSCU is disadvantaged because it doesn't have the fast Pentapenguin.
Yeah, he played Coco Park, Crash Cove, Dingo Canyon,
Yeah.
all the NTSU.
Although it might just be a coincidence and it's some random guy who doesn't have a PAL version or a Japanese version, it just seems like too much to be a coincidence. A guy who's really good at the game, but only has the inferior version. But yeah, whether or not you'd believe that he's Samarati Kando or not, we're gonna refer to Entropy 44 as Entropy 44.
Yeah.
So Sam Bennett still playing, gets 2 more world records. John CTR, a Brazilian player, one of the Brazilians, also playing here. And Luca reaching his peak for a second time. And here, Oxide the Best gets a world record. Yeah, he beats Entropy 44, I think. And he doesn't have very many world records, but he's also one of the gods. One of the early gods. And he's currently one of the best players on Nitrofield, which is cool. Came back for that.
Yeah.
He's also one of the early Italians, not from like the Italian wave that appeared later on. LinkZer getting his getting to 2 world records here. And Justin Zimmerman, at the time probably called Crash Team Alfing, getting a world record.
Okay, he first started as Alpha Plus. Alpha Plus.
Yeah. But was he
Yeah.
Alpha Plus here still?
Then he changed it to Crash Team Alfing and finally to Justin Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at this time, I think he probably was already Crash Team Alfing. It's already a year since, already almost a year
Okay.
since BTF has quit.
Oh yeah. You're right on that.
Entropy has 3 world records, and you need to remember that he's only playing the NTSCU tracks, so not a lot to choose from. Loris gets his Coco Park world record. I think he was the first one to get sub 114. But very much a thin amount of world records. Luca basically almost ties the rest of the world. He has 17 world records out of 36. So he has almost half the world records. He also makes a post. BTF at some point made a post of BTF versus a Finnish ranking, and then Luca makes a post there. Luca versus Finland, and he has all the world. He beats all of Finland. Yeah. John gets his 3rd world record. Tom getting another world record. And is it now? Is this the moment when Tom? Yeah. So Tom decides it's time for Luca's reign to end, and it's very interesting. And also Sam Bennett getting his world. Maybe these are. Oh, not yet. Probably not Cortex Castle yet. But yeah. Or maybe it could be. Nonetheless, V4E is still playing some other tracks. Interesting. And
Oh, that's yeah,
and Platinum shows up. The chosen one.
yeah. He was very distinguished player
Yeah.
back then. As Fernando Mingroni, with his famous 117.97 in Crash Cup.
Yeah. Um, because of various things in his past. He's from Uruguay, right?
Yeah, he's from Uruguay. Uruguay. I
Yeah.
don't know how to pronounce it in English.
And he made a lot of fakes. And he even made fake videos. Like he made the first known Crash Team Racing save states video, and
Yeah,
posted it as his world record on Crash Cove. And this is just, it kind of made people wake up that, just people will put a lot of effort into making fakes, even if it's just a game on an online leaderboard where it doesn't matter. Like obviously people knew already that there's people who make fakes, but that people will do a lot of things to get recognition.
yeah. Fernando fake video. Uh, wake wake us all of us. We have luckily we have already the council. Uh, there was a council in CTR Gamers where we discussed about we investigated the records, and well, there was a topic where we investigated this video about this Fernando video. Amarticando helped a lot with that, and we discovered it was fake.
Yeah, and this is from like this happened in 2007. So it's not like nobody knew what a
Yeah,
TAS is. Nobody knew what a save states video is.
no,
Uh,
no, it was the first.
yeah, and even to this day, like Crash Team Racing is it like PlayStation. It's not simple to make fake videos of PlayStation games. Clody 95 also with a world record here already. Probably a few slides away earlier. But yeah. Um, so finally, in June 2010, Crash 68 or Tom becomes number one in world records. And at this point, Sam Bennett has already fallen to fourth place in world record rankings. And LinkZer has equal amount of world records to Sam Bennett, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I think we can stop this time's video here. But I guess you could also tell a bit how was the game, how was the community at this point, June 2010. I think you were about quitting here.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly. June 2010, precisely the 18th day of June. I was quitting from the CTR world. It was a very crazy community. There were a lot of things happening. Uh, Fakers, a lot of drama, uh, fights between players, a lot of attacks, uh, hacking. Well, I account is still, to be honest, not hacking,
Yeah,
just password stealing. But well, there was a lot of things happening in the CTR war, uh, and some players already started to quit too. Some of the Gen 2 players, for example, we hadn't Pardies already quit. I think there were some players that were playing less than before. It was a mess, to be honest. But well,
Yeah,
I say there things like things like that happen in many community gaming communities.
yeah. Um, another big reason why Crash Team Racing has always been such a drama-prone community, and a lot of the problems have been caused by the fact that so few of the players speak proper English. Um,
and and many of them were crazy. Were crazy. They did their own things. For example, we have Amarati Kando, which was kind of bipolar. We
yeah,
have BTF with his trolling techniques.
yeah,
Um, Justin himself was very crazy back then. Well, it was a total mess.
yeah. No, and like honestly, we can do is blame Naughty Dog because of their mistake with Penta Penguin. The American players never could really compete, and because there was no Americans, English really was a minority language in a sense. Like
Yeah,
while the forums and everything was in English, the South American, the Spanish speaking players spoke with each other, the Portuguese speaking players spoke with each other, the French speaking players spoke with each other, and the Italians spoke with each other, and the only time they talked in English was when they talked with somebody who didn't speak their own language.
yeah.
So, so it wasn't really a unified community in any sense.
No, we only get together to compete and to fight, basically.
And to troll if you were BTF.
Yeah, to draw to.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, thanks for listening, and stay tuned for part 3.